Hello and welcome to the Crumpled Paper Podcast. This is our 17th installment.
Nth installment of the podcast. Just intro, like, whenever I said nth, just, like, put the number it is. And then, like, make it a really robotic voice. Always, like, the 12th podcast. Alright, today's
Left. No.
today's podcast, we're talking about, what is that season, that special type of week? The SOLs. And we are joined by our hosts and hostess of Jacob Zachary Aguilar.
Sure, Tori.
Will Zirkle.
And Charles the Banana One.
And yeah, like today we're going to be talking about SOL prep and like everything that we know about SOLs. And as two seniors, as me and Charles will discuss little advice. Maybe some advice.
Right, hold up. So the answers to the SOL are
A B C D A B C B C B D E F A L Batman sign L L B A.
Alright, I'm gonna hack your computer with audio. 101
Remember, circle every answer is C.
Mm.
There you go.
When in doubt, Charlie out.
That's a good idea.
What?
Or ACDC.
When in doubt, Charlie out. Juicy.
Anyways,
Oh.
let's talk about some prep. For one, I've never really been much of an SOL studier. Like I'm never one of those people that's like, I go home at night and I studied like every night for a week before. I was more of the last minute crammer who just like 4 hours before was at home about 4 a.m. like just like looking over everything from their notes and being like, oh, I hope I don't forget anything. But then I normally pass it in. Regardless.
Yeah, you see, like, the best way to study for the SOL, from my experience, is just to pay attention when you're doing SOL review. Because that is the best way to do it.
Teachers put a lot of time into them, so you should really pay attention to the SOL reviews when like a teacher comes up with one and they put like a lot of time into it because it'll actually help you. And personally, what's probably the hardest thing that I've ever learned while taking SOL? My hardest SOL ever, I think, was my geometry SOL.
Oh yes.
And that was because, first of all, geometry was hard. Like learning like about how to numbers and shapes. No. Numbers stick with letters, and shapes stick with coloring. So that's all I have to say about geometry.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I gotta say.
Geometry is honestly the hardest SOL in any.
Because you gotta remember a lot of formulas.
Yeah.
But
They give a lot to you.
one
So.
thing I'd say for like people who are stressing out about the math SOL, since like you're given a calculator, like even teachers stress it out. Just plug and chug. Just plug in all the answers into the question because it'll work. Like
It does.
I've been doing the J Labs for extra credit, and I hate it because all the questions are plug and chug, and it just takes forever typing them all in, but you still get the answer right. So anyone can really just get an A, or pass advance on the SOL. Just use a calculator, even though it takes a long time.
I guess that's true because you have unlimited time, so that's another thing.
But I think isn't like the first like 10 questions you can't use the calculator?
No,
But those are like simple questions. The test questions or whatever, like the new questions.
But you're in algebra 2.
Yeah.
What about the after people?
After they don't have SOLs, but you
They
probably
don't have an after SOL?
no.
You just have to take a class.
Yeah, you have to take the class, but you might normally on the 3-hour blocks. If you're not taking the SOL, you normally have like a big test on the curriculum, just as like a big part of it.
Yeah.
And I know in a few of my classes that is the case. And oh gosh, I just remembered I have a big Spanish test tomorrow. Wow. Okay, but yeah, people need to like in the classes, like the teachers always say, don't skip because like if you skip the class but you don't have an SOL, you're normally gonna be given a lot of work, and especially with like the last day of SOL testing, you're gonna have your last period blocked. You're gonna have it the day before for an hour and a half, that day for 3 hours, then you go to lunch, then you go back to that class for another hour and a half. So you're gonna be in whatever you have period 8 for hours. You're gonna be in there for 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, it's just like
You are going to get tired of everyone.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
My thing about the SOL is, I should stop playing with this. My thing about the SOL, especially if it's like either like chemistry or any type of science one or history, use like mnemonic devices. The way I've passed all quizzes and SOLs is that I'll have the word and I'll see the definition and I'll find a letter that's in that definition that's in the word. So like for chemistry people, the alpha rays, there's an H in alpha, and so that means the compound in it is helium. Helium in the formula. Like, that's how I remember.
Dang, that's smart.
That's how I remember all of my things. Because, like, my friend and I, in our earth science, like, if you're in earth science class, you know earth science is all vocabulary. So that's what we do when we forget to study. We just do the mnemonic devices. I passed, like, flying colors with all that tests. I had an A+ throughout that class. Because, like, the mnemonic devices really work. Because they seem stupid because they'll be like, okay, there's an A in the beginning of the definition and the word has A. Like, it's really stupid, but you actually remember.
Okay. Now that we've talked about prep, why don't we talk about SOL stories? What is everyone's scariest SOL that they've ever had to take?
Geometry.
Honestly, geometry SOL.
That is the hardest SOL.
Geometry SOL was the hardest, but I think my hardest personally was biology. No, chemistry. I did not like the chemistry SOL that much.
Chemistry was kind of easy.
You had to remember some long formulas, like a formula for photosynthesis, I think, and I can't remember all this stuff in that class. And most of the time in these classes, like, pay attention at the day before review because they'll actually fill you in on a lot of stuff that you need to know for it.
My worst SOL, probably, it wasn't in high school, it was in middle school. And I was telling Charles about this before. I think it was my science one because, like, my science teacher, she was something. But anyways, I stressed so hard about it, and finally, like, I finished, and I ended up, like, passing out, and I didn't even realize it until the time was up, and this girl next to me had to wake me up, and she was kind of scared because, like, I, like, flinched up, and I was like, what? I didn't even realize that I'd, like, fell asleep, but, yeah.
I thought you meant passed out, like, you were, like, in the middle of it, and then you like, fall back.
Like, when I was done with it, I was like, died. How about you, Will?
What about you, Will?
I don't know I don't remember what SOL it was, but it's not because it was, like, a certain class that it was scary. It was that somebody's phone went off and we had to, like, all take it again.
I've never had
that.
Don't
bring your phone.
Don't do that.
Like, all of you are like, I can have my phone if I want. Just don't bring it.
Don't be
you
stupid,
don't need
seriously. Well, I guess like sophomores and seniors. Most of the high school kids will get it. Freshmen.
Yeah. It's like, if you're like, well, why can't I keep it in your pocket? Like, why do you need your phone right next to you? You're not going to be using it.
You're not going to be using it. There's no.
You're not even allowed to have it out.
Yeah,
at all.
people, they act so, like, macho about it. They're like, well, it's my phone. I could keep it in my pocket if I want because it's mine. It's like, no, don't. You want to retake the test? You want to be known as that person?
This
is the one time where you want to listen to your teachers because you will be screwed if they hear the phone.
You would have not to mention you'd be annoyed that you had to retake your test, but you also have a classroom of however many people who also had to retake their test.
They're just going to be, like, cringing at the sight of you. They're just like...
And then, like, especially, even if you're done, you have to retake it. So be smart. Don't take your phone and don't cheat on the SOLs because that's never smart because you can get busted, like, quickly. Teachers keep hawk eyes out and they patrol the room.
Sorry.
But, hey, normally after the SOLs, you know what that means. It's time to relax in class. No, some classes don't.
And one of the things, remember to like, if you can't answer a question, to skip it because it's not worth stressing about it. Everyone, like, that's always something that's said, but it's really true because I usually do that. I always stress over the questions and I start freaking out. Just skip it and use the little tools they give you, like the highlighters and stuff. Like, like people say, like, it's stupid. I could just answer the question, but it makes you feel better because at least you know for certain that you, like, because if you cross off 2, you have a 50-50 chance that you actually got that question right.
Remember all the deals that teachers would give you? Like, if everyone at least passes, all get, like, a movie and pizza party. And then, like, pass advance, movies, pizza party, ice cream, and something else.
Yeah.
And then everyone, like, 600. And that is something.
My middle school history teacher, he said that whichever class got the, like, highest SOL grades,
like average?
Average, he'd get us lasagna. And so, like, everyone in my history class, like, studied really, because it was homemade. It was like a secret recipe, and oh my gosh, we made it, we did it, and like, that lasagna was so good. And then we ended up watching Charlie Chaplin for the rest of the day, but it was amazing.
My science teacher
No, you're good. Go ahead.
My science teacher in 7th grade, he said, if whoever gets the highest score in here, I will accidentally drop $40 in front of your desk.
Every student?
No, the student that got the highest test score. Drop $40.
Wow, me.
I will say that I had a bad issue last year when So basically, you don't want to finish the SOL right to the last minute of the bell rings because they will hold you back. Like they will keep you in that room. Because I finished like right when the bell rung and I finished it. It was like, can I go? It was like, you have to stay here. I just sit in that room for an hour and 30.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I would have cried.
I remember I think I've done that too, to like get out of class all day. Like I would sit in there and I just like hit submit. Well, no, like you have every question done and then you're just waiting to hit submit and then you just put your head down and relax
I did that
until like the last period, like the last 10 minutes of class, and then you go.
I did that recently for the English SOL, the reading one. But, like, it actually ended up helping me a lot because...
Then you could revise?
I actually, no, it was the multiple choice one. And I actually ended up, like, since I was staying there for, like, the 3 periods or whatever, I actually, like, ended up checking all of them constantly. And, I knew that by the end I was like, all of these have to be right. And then I got tired and I was like, okay, let's go. But I got out of those 2 classes. I got out of math and stuff, but staying back actually kind of helps because you actually check some of the answers when you're bored.
Make sure to double check, triple even.
Huh? I don't know what to say. I did good though. Did good.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up for today's podcast about the SOL review and getting ready for the next week of SOL testing. And we are going to close this one out. So, does anyone want to do a little jingle?
Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Make sure to subscribe and check the website. I already messed up. Let's wrap this up. Make sure to sleep before the SOL beforehand.
This is the worst beat I've ever heard.
I know.
All right.
All right, bye guys.
All right, bye.
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 End recording.
Bye.
All right.